What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Powerhouse Mentality Podcast and another week of the Powerhouse Mentality Facebook community live training. So tonight, we have a few things that we're going to talk about. The topic that we're going to talk about tonight is we're going to focus on two different things. First, I'm going to talk about 5 steps to help you set a goal to help you finish out the year strong. So we have less than 60 days left in the year. And I want to make sure that you're setting up goals that are realistic, that are manageable, that are specific, so that you don't have to fall to shit during the holiday season, because a lot of people use the holiday season as an excuse to peace out on their goals and simply take a back seat. When in all reality, you can still enjoy the holidays, and you should enjoy the holidays, while still staying on track to reach your goals and keep the commitments that you make to yourself. So we're going to talk about the 5 steps to help set your 60-day goals that actually stick throughout the holiday season. Then I'm going to give you a couple actionable items that you can use with your fitness and your nutrition that can help you keep those commitments or keep that plan in place even during the hecticness of the holiday season. But before we start there, since it is the holiday season starting up here soon, and I don't know about you guys, but I am a Christmas lover and a Thanksgiving lover. So this is my time of year. And I also turned 30 on December 23rd. So that's terrifying. But let's talk about Black Friday, because we are officially 2 weeks out from the Powerhouse Mentality Black Friday, which officially starts on November 25th. However, if you are on the VIP early access list, which I will put the link down below in the show notes of the podcast and down below in the comments on the live training here in the Facebook group so that you can get on that VIP list, it will start on November 23rd. Now, let me talk about exactly what we are doing. And I'm going to do another live on this probably next week to really break it down. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek on what's to come for the Powerhouse Mentality for Black Friday. First of all, 2025 with the Powerhouse Mentality and finishing off 2024 with the Powerhouse Mentality, fuel and gear for the mentally tough is about to blow the fuck up. And you guys are coming along for the ride, so I'm super excited. Now, the first thing that we are doing is that we are doing 40% off site-wide on all OG apparel. So all OG tees, all tri-blend tees, all Powerhouse Performance hoodies, dad hats, trucker hats, all 40% off on the website. Second thing we're doing is the first 25 orders, only the first 25 orders, will receive a free limited edition exclusive Powerhouse Mentality patch. So you can wear it on your weighted vest, you can wear it in your car, you can put it on your hat, whatever the fuck you want to do with your patch, and you can rep the core values of the Powerhouse Mentality. The design is really cool. Designed it myself, which I do with all of our stuff. Only 25 people are going to get that, and it's going to be the first 25 people, and it's not going to be added to your cart, so you're going to find out when you open up your package on the day that it gets delivered, if you were the first 25. Now, the third thing that we are doing is for all orders over $100, you will get a free OG shirt in your order. For all orders over $150, you will get a free OG shirt and a Powerhouse Performance hoodie in your order. And for all orders over $200, you're going to get a free OG shirt, a free Powerhouse Performance hoodie, and a free dad hat or trucker hat, whichever one you decide. So this is going to be big. We are also doing a new drop for the apparel side of things. So we are releasing the No Problems Only Solutions oversized black tee that you've seen me wearing in like all of my reels, in a lot of my workout footage, in a lot of my YouTube videos, because I'm fucking obsessed with it. It is so comfortable. It is so perfect for whether you're wearing it inside the gym. It holds up really well. It soaks up sweat really well. Believe me, I sweat a lot and it really holds up very well. And it looks good whether you want to dress it up or dress it down. So there are only 50 of those. So there are only 50 of the oversized tees. So if you want one of the No Problems Only Solutions tees, which is the next evolution of the Powerhouse Mentality brand, you better get it while it's hot. So those are going to drop officially November 25th. But if you're on the VIP early access list, you get access to those on November 23rd. So that's all about Black Friday. That's a little bit of housekeeping. I kept it under 5 minutes there. So let's get into the topic of today's video. Like I said, we're going to talk about 5 steps to help you set your 60-day goals so you can finish off 2024 strong. Now, again, we have a little less than 60 days, but the reality is when you set a goal, you continue to go. Like once you hit that goal, you don't just stop working hard. You set another goal. You continue the momentum. It's like the never-ending ladder of success because you hit a goal and then you want more. So let's talk about it. Number 1, set small, attainable goals to build wins. Now, I talk about this all the time with my clients, but also with a lot of you guys. Confidence is simply the memory of winning. So there's no way that you're going to build confidence or build belief in yourself that you're able to do these things that you want to do unless you actually celebrate the wins that you have along the way. Because if you never celebrate your wins, then your mindset is going to be in the area of, I'm not even winning, I keep losing, I suck, so why should I even bother trying? When in all reality, if you say, okay, I got that win, cool, let's get the next one. It's a different mindset, it's a different perspective, and it'll help you continue that momentum along the journey when you want to quit. So I always say, small things done consistently over time compound to create massive change. That will eventually be on a t-shirt, I am sure of it. But many people tend to think that it's going to be one big extraordinary thing that changes everything for them. When in all reality, it's the small things done for an extraordinary period of time that get you to that goal, that create the life that you dream of. So you have to focus on those small wins and build them up over time. It's kind of like, every time I think of momentum, I always think of like a snowball going down a hill and how it continues to build. It gets bigger, it gets faster, it becomes more powerful. And that's exactly what you are doing when you're creating momentum on your journey by celebrating each win and creating little roadblocks, or not roadblocks, but little ladders along the way, right? So imagine it's kind of like a ladder, right? If you try to skip steps or take major leaps on a ladder, you're probably going to fall off the fucking ladder. If you fall off the ladder, then you start from ground zero, and it's going to be really, really humbling. But if you focus on the small wins and you recognize those wins, then you're going to build confidence, you're going to build belief, and both of those things are absolutely necessary to get you to the goal that you set for yourself. Belief is so important, and I think it's one thing that a lot of people underestimate the power of. So whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. It's my favorite quote from The Magic of Thinking Big. And if you haven't read that book yet, I've mentioned it so many times in this Facebook group. I've mentioned it so many times on the podcast. Read The Magic of Thinking Big. I've read it 6 times, and you know what? I probably need to read it a 7th time. It's getting there. So you have to believe in yourself if you ever want to accomplish your goals. And the best way to build belief is through small, attainable goals that compound and stack on top of each other. So you have to just keep stacking wins every day. Keep stacking wins. So one way that you can implement that in the next 60 days leading up into 2025 is to start implementing a power list. So a power list, made famous by Andy Frisella, is when you write down 5 things that are going to take you closer to your goals. It's not a to-do list. It's 5 actionable items that take you a little bit closer to your goals, things that you want to build as habits. And once it becomes a habit, you take it off the list and you put another thing on so you can keep building good habits. So if you're trying to lose body fat, it could be as simple as, I'm going to track my food, I'm going to hit my protein, I'm going to drink a gallon of water, I'm going to move with intent for 45 minutes every day, and I'm going to eat a fruit or a vegetable with each meal. You check all of those things off your list. If you check off all 5, you win your day. If you don't, if you get 4 out of 5, you lost your day. There's no, oh, but I almost won. No, it's lose or win. You don't get a fucking participation trophy. The more days that you win, the more discipline you build, and the closer that you get to your goals. Okay? So that's number 1, set small attainable goals to build wins. Number 2 is create a plan and be specific with that plan, dear Lord, please. The amount of people who say, I want to do this, I want to accomplish great things, I want to be successful, but they can't even define success. You have to be able to specifically define what you're after, specifically define what success looks like to you in what area of your life. What do you want to do? And this requires a little bit of time on the front end on your end, but it makes things a lot easier down the road. So I like to say all the time that when we're talking about meal prep, right? You fail to plan, then you plan to fail. The same thing goes with your goals. If you go into the gym without a workout plan and you just kind of wing it, you're probably not going to get the best results. You're probably going to have a really difficult time actually earning the results that you want compared to if you walked into the gym with a specific program that you were following and you knew exactly what you needed to do. You knew the exact intensity, intent, weight, load, whatever that you needed to do. You have more intent and direction. The more specific you are, the better the plan becomes. And the easier it becomes, or the more simple it becomes for you to reach your goals. Because reaching your goals isn't easy, and you have to change that expectation. Because if you think that reaching your goals is going to be easy, then you're going to be really let down. So you have to take time to really be honest with yourself and ask yourself, where am I currently at, and where do I want to be? Because once you figure those 2 points out, you can literally map out the directions, or you can map out steps that are going to take you from point A to point B, just as if you were going on a road trip. You know the starting location, you know the ending location, so then you can GPS your way from point A to point B. What if you had no idea where you were starting, or you had no idea where you were going? How the hell are you going to map out the directions? You're maybe eventually going to get somewhere, but you have no idea where you're going. So it's going to be really hard to measure progress. The process or the journey is where the magic happens. And along that process, you have to track your progress so you can audit things to make sure that you're still on the right track. And that's why it's so important, if you're on a fat loss journey, to take weekly progress pictures, to track your workouts, to fill out your assessments if you have a coach. Those things are super important to continue moving forward. So number 2 is create a plan and be specific. Number 3 is construct a strategy to make things easier on you. This is where you take that plan that we just spoke about and you actually implement it. You take action on it. If you have a plan that entails you hitting 150 grams of protein each day, say that's on your power list, you're going to hit 150 grams of protein every day. You have to take action steps to actually get to that 150 grams of protein. It's not going to happen by accident. Most of you know that it's really difficult to hit your protein goal if you haven't been doing it for a while. So in order to make that happen, you're going to have to develop a strategy. For example, meal prepping, right? Cooking your chicken thighs, cooking your beef, making sure that when you have protein sources like chicken and beef, you have it cooked in bulk, it becomes a lot easier for you to actually hit your protein goal. And then you can backtrack even further to making a grocery list and taking time to go to the grocery store and pick up everything you need to be successful for that week. You can pre-track your macros in whatever app you use to track your nutrition. And the same thing goes for your workouts. You can construct a strategy to make sure you're consistently getting in your training and going on your walks, whatever your movement is, and putting it on your calendar like it's an appointment with yourself and keeping that commitment with yourself. Plan the most realistic time for you to go. Know exactly what your workout program that you're going to be doing is. Pack your gym bag. Don't procrastinate. Actually fucking go when you say you're going to go. When things are easier to start, you're going to be more willing to do them. So make it as easy as possible by constructing that strategy so that you will actually follow through. So, number 3, construct a strategy to make things easier on you. Let's get into number 4, the last 2. Number 4, fall in love with the journey, not the goal. So many people make the mistake of obsessing over the goal or the outcome. And it's important to have a goal, but it's more important to execute the process that makes the goal happen. The journey is where you grow. The journey is where you learn everything. Instead of focusing on what you are getting out of each day, focus on what you're putting in to each day. Because you can always control what you put into each day. Sometimes you can't control what you get out of it. If you truly put everything you can into the process, you won't have to worry about the results. They will happen. You just have to trust the process and do it consistently. It takes so much longer than you want it to take. It takes so much longer than you think it's going to take. It takes way more work and dedication than you think it will too. That's why most people don't reach their goals, because they give up when things get hard. You're not like that. You're here in the Powerhouse Mentality group. You're here listening to this podcast for a reason. So if you focus too heavily on a goal, then you might get distracted by things that don't matter. For example, if you're on a fat loss goal, you might get distracted by the scale. because it's not going down as fast as you think. Or once you get to the goal, instead of thinking about falling in love with the journey, you develop unsustainable habits and now you can't sustain these things. So now the results that you earned don't last. One quote that I feel like really relates to this is, "The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination." Fall in love with walking, not the destination. And I think that's probably the most important thing that I'll talk about tonight. But number 4, fall in love with the journey, not the goal. Fall in love with the walking, not the destination. And finally, number 5, practice true self-care. Don't ignore this piece of the puzzle because most people do. We all have a stress bucket, and that stress bucket can only handle so much before it starts to overflow. And when it starts to overflow, you get inflammation, disease, you feel like shit, you can't keep committed to your goals. It doesn't work. Make sure that you're giving yourself time to find joy in the little things. One thing that I make a priority every day is to find joy in something today. Find joy in the little things every damn day. If you mess up, eat something that you know you shouldn't, maybe you missed a workout, move on. Move the fuck on. Stop holding on to those things. Give yourself some grace, learn from those moments of weakness, and grow from those moments. Treat yourself right. Most people talk so horribly to themselves, and then they just feel so terribly about themselves that they don't feel like they deserve to reach their goals, so they don't even take action anymore. Talk to yourself like you would your best friend. They say that things... I think it's more like you say things that you would never actually say to somebody else, right? But then you say it to yourself. It's kind of like the same thing as like you would keep commitments to other people, but you don't keep them to yourself. So keep the promises you make to yourself because that's the best form of self-care. When I'm talking about self-care, I'm not talking about sitting on the couch eating shit and taking a bath and stuff. While that stuff is relaxing, right? I'm talking about like keeping the commitments that you make to yourself. Journaling, breathing, meditating, doing things that make you feel good, finding joy in life because it's so short. Like I said, self-care is not eating chocolates laying on the couch after a rough day. True self-care is taking action to become the best version of yourself. And you're always control of the food you put in your body and the movement you do or don't do. So make the choices that give you true self-care. Now, to summarize that, the 5 steps to set your 60-day goals so you can go into 2025 with so much momentum is 1, set small attainable goals to build wins. Number 2, create a plan and be specific. Number 3, construct a strategy to make things easier on you. Number 4, fall in love with the journey, not the goal. And number 5, practice true self-care. If you guys have any questions, drop them down below in the community Facebook page. If you have any questions, if you're listening to the podcast, you can always shoot me a DM or an email. But, I understand the holidays can be tough to stay consistent. There are parties, there's food everywhere, there's a lot of temptations, there's less time to work out and so on. Although you have to make the time to work out, you're not going to find it. But I want you guys to think about the season as a unique opportunity because building consistency now means that you're going to hit January miles ahead of where you would have been if you waited until January 1st to start. Imagine the feeling of starting the new year, not with regret, but with pride because you actually did it. You're actually doing it. And that's powerful. And it's something we can all achieve no matter how busy the season of life is. Because at the end of the day, if something's important to you, you will make time to get it done. So let's make the holiday season, November, December, and everything moving forward, the launch pad for you to have the best year of your life and become the best version of you. Remember, you don't have to do it perfectly. Drop that fucking all or nothing mindset because it's not serving you. Understand that you can enjoy the holidays and you can still see results because if you're not taking action on your goals because of Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day, that's 3 days that are holding you back from becoming the best version of you. You don't have to track your macros. You don't have to work out on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Christmas Eve if you don't want to. You can eat like a complete dumbass on those days and you can still see results because it's consistency that compounds and that's what matters. So, thank you guys for watching tonight. Thank you for listening tonight. And let's make the season one where we don't just survive, we actually thrive and go out today and do one thing that's going to take you one step closer to where you want to be.